Welcome back to Turning the Page. I'm host Donnie Morse. We're here with Bridget Cook, co-author of Shattered Silence. Bridget, Melissa was a victim in this as well. A lot of people don't think of them as being one of the victims, but she and her siblings were victims.
Absolutely.
How or why or what helped them to overcome that feeling of being a victim?
Well, it's interesting. You'd have to read the book to get the whole story, the whole dynamic of it, because there were several different areas of her life where there were choices that she could make. She could have chosen drugs and alcohol. She could have chosen...
Which is the normal path a lot of people take in this
path, because most people, they can't deal with the tremendous horrors that they faced as children and don't know how to, so they shove it down with food or drugs or alcohol or whatever it is. Melissa had certain experiences that really allowed her to look at the choices that other people made and say, you know, I don't have to make the choices of my father or my mother. I can create a life of my own.
And a lot of that, really her first step in all that is listening to your intuition, or as we would call it now, listening to the still small voice that we all have. Mm-hmm. That's kind of her first step. And you see throughout the book how she was taught to listen to that. Even though she was around these horrible circumstances, she always tried to listen to that feeling.
Right.
And then her second step was her book, Shattered Silence. Talk about it. Get it out there. And tell us about some of the emails that you've received from some of the people that have responded to you.
Well, it's just, you know, everybody has some kind of secret in their closet, some kind of skeleton. We all do. Her courage in being able to express this and in a positive way has really inspired thousands of people across the country. And you know, we received an email just last week where a woman didn't want to reveal too much information about herself, but she said, "You're not alone in what you faced." But she said, "You are unique in that you've had the courage to speak this, that you've had the courage to tell your story."
So tell us a little bit about where Keith is now.
Well, Keith is in the Oregon State Penitentiary, and he's serving 4 of his sentences are consecutive life sentences. So he will never leave prison. There still is one case pending where he may or may not get the death penalty, and so this story is still ongoing. But you know, the interesting thing is that this man is not capable of any remorse. There is something within his brain that switched off at a young age that he's just not capable of remorse. And so Melissa took on all of his shame and what he should have felt for the victims. And so, you know, his relationship with her and hers with his would probably surprise you. So
Bridget, I heard there was an incident on Oprah that was kind of different. Would you tell us about that?
Well, it was very interesting, Donnie. I was with her husband and our publisher in the back room as Melissa was on, and she was talking between Dr. Phil and Oprah. And people were shocked that she would go to see her father. And
prison.
In prison. She had taken her young family, her 2 children and her husband, to meet her father because her husband hadn't met her father. And the whole audience was just shocked. They were
appalled.
They were appalled. And Liz from Cedar Fort, she goes, "Stupid Mormons." And we all just laughed. But it was, you know, as a comfort to the church, she had this idea in her mind about these forever families and how do I show up in support of my father even though he's very ill. And you know, this man is capable of absolutely no remorse. He holds no value to human life. And so Melissa took on that shame and guilt for years and years, and that's one of the things that we go into is how to rectify that. And I think that her relationship with her father may really surprise you.
Well, you really need to pick up a copy of Shattered Silence, the untold story of a serial killer's daughter. We have it here at Confetti Antiques and Books. It's $16.99. Come down and get a copy. We're going to be having a book signing here in the store with Bridget. She'll be here November 20th. We're going to be doing our Christmas open house. We'll be open late until 8. Stop in, pick up a copy. She'll be here from 6 to 8. Bridget, tell them your website, because I know you like to talk to people about the book.
Mm-hmm, I do, and I'm very open about the process of the book and what's come about since then. It's www.mbridgetcook.com. There's also www.shatteredsilencebook.com. So either of those.
Okay. So come on down, pick up a copy, come down November 20th and meet Bridget, and she'll talk with you about the book, and she'll sign a copy for you, personalize it. And thanks again for being with us. I'm host Donnie Morris of Confetti Antiques and Books, and this is Turning the Page. Bridget, thanks for coming.
Thank you very much. This has been wonderful.